Time blocking and 40-hour weeks, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, don't work for neurodiverse brains. So if you're starting out creating your own income stream and you've got a wide open schedule and you're not sure how to structure that so that you're in line with your natural energy and you're getting done the things you want to get done in your business, this video is for you. If you've been working on your own business for a while, or if you're just leaving that corporate structure and you're trying to kind of like acclimate to a whole new world of an open schedule, or even if you do have a salaried position, but you've got some autonomy about how you show up to that work, this video will be super helpful for you as well. Welcome, my name is Mira. I'm the Neurospicy Crone, and I have been self-employed for about 30 years, running my own businesses. I have had salaried positions. My last one was at a group home for adults with developmental disabilities. So I was expected to be there 40 hours a week, 8 hours a day, not Monday through Friday, but 5 days of the week. But because it was a residential facility, I could work any 8 hours I wanted to. So that was great. And I realized ever since that last job, which was a very long time ago, that I must have flexibility. It's absolutely required for me because sometimes I'm energized and I'm in the flow and I can get things done. And other times I'm just not. And in fact, this is how the brain works. Nobody is productive 8 hours a day. That's just not how the brain works. And so we really need to unclutch from this corporate structure that's just like not true and create something that is valuable for ourselves, that works for ourselves. So if that's of interest to you, please stick around. If you're coming back and visiting, welcome. If you're new to this channel, I want to invite you to subscribe. We're talking about an autonomous income stream for women in the later stages of life when freedom really matters. We've done all the things, we've given, we've committed, and now it's time to really explore sovereignty. So with a wide open schedule, what are you going to do with it? How is that going to fit into your commitment for earning this autonomous income stream? And so I'm going to give you some practical tips that you can try for yourself. And then I'm going to share with you my schedule, and you can just kind of begin to explore, like, what does this mean to me? What works for me? So first of all, daily structure and time blocking really isn't a good fit for neurodiverse brains. If you have attention and focus differences, if your energy flow fluctuates, like everybody's does, but for us it can be a little more dramatic, then it can feel like, I feel like I'm wrong every day. I didn't meet my criteria every day, and I don't want to make myself wrong every day. So I've created a schedule that works for me. And I like to think of it as a weekly schedule rather than a daily schedule. The reason I choose a weekly schedule is because there's a sort of an anchor task for me to do every week. And currently it's making a video for YouTube once a week and then distributing that same topic, whatever the video is about, to different channels as well, like LinkedIn and Substack. So once a week, I'm going to make a video and then create all these other assets around it. So that's sort of a core activity. And if I'm doing that consistently over time, that weekly consistency is actually much more effective than the daily consistency. Post every day, do this every single day. That just doesn't feel good in our nervous systems. And I want to give you permission right now that you never have to work 40 hours again. You never have to work 5 days a week again. When you have your own income stream, you can very effectively earn an income, get the things done in 10 or 20 hours a week, 30 hours a week, sometimes maybe inching up over 30 hours a week. If you're doing a big promotion or there's some big project that you want to get together, there will be extra hours. But as far as a rhythm, season by season, 20 hours, excuse me, of productive work a week is actually very good. So that's a huge mindset shift from what the corporate world tells us. This whole 40 hours a week is just totally not how human brains work. So first of all, you've got about 20 hours a week to schedule in these core activities. In the Online Income Collective, I call it essential actions. What are the things that need to get done on a weekly basis in order to generate an income for yourself? This can have to do with letting people know who you are and what you do. It has to do with delivering your service or product, and it has to do with administration, all the other stuff that we need to do for our business, which doesn't have to be that much stuff. So you're going to want to have a weekly anchor task or project or activity. It could be, let's say you want to do workshops once a month, and that's your main way of letting people know about who you are and what you do. So you're not going to give a workshop every week, probably once a month, or maybe even 6 times a year. So that weekly core task or project would be creating that workshop content, letting people know about the workshop, that kind of a thing. If you're doing digital products, then that's going to be more like, sitting down and creating a digital project for a product. There we go. And so it starts with getting super clear about what your weekly core activity is. And then I'll tell you how I do my weekly schedule. So first of all, I have a partner who does have a corporate job. So he does work Monday to Friday. So I do follow that so that we have our weekends free together. But if that's not a constraint for you, then you can work whichever days of the week you want. You can work 3 days a week. You can work 4 days a week. It's totally up to you. And you can change which those days are. Once you have this core weekly project and you know what are the things you want to get done, you can slot them in based on who is inviting you out to lunch this week, or where are you going on vacation this week, or what is your energy like this week, or what's the season. Winter is more of a time for deep work. Summer is more of a time for bringing things out into the world. So you can follow the rhythms and still keep this core weekly project going. So this is how my schedule goes. On Monday, I call Monday my secret Sunday. And the reason I call it my secret Sunday is because my partner has gone to work. The house is quiet. I might sleep in. I'll have a slow morning. And then it's kind of an admin day, catching up on emails, reaching out to a few people, getting ready for Tuesday, which is my favorite day of the week. And I'll tell you why in a moment. And just sort of like, what am I doing? Tracking things, just sort of like, could be anything. And I do have a couple of slots for coaching on Monday afternoons. So that spot is reserved for that if needed. Monday is also a day for prepping my Tuesday, because Tuesday is content creation day. Nothing gets on my calendar on Tuesdays. I guard Tuesdays completely. If anything gets scheduled on a Tuesday, it can ruin my entire day, because here's a fact. If you get distracted from doing deep work or something creative, even a ping from your phone nearby at your desk, it can take up to 25 minutes to get back on task. That's why people are in corporate jobs for 40 hours a week, because they're not actually getting anything done. People are constantly being disrupted. People are expected to be available for somebody else's topic or question, and you can never actually get anything done. But when we're having an autonomous income stream and we work for ourselves, we can have these protected days where we can create a video, where we can write our newsletter, where we can create some great content for a workshop that we want to deliver or a talk that we're giving. And so Tuesdays is, I will for sure on Monday have checked my email at the end of the day. So if I don't get back to anybody until 4 or 5 o'clock the next day on Tuesday, that's fine. And I'll even like kind of set up my gear, pick things out, have my outline ready, what I want to talk about. And then Tuesday, all I have to do is create a video, edit that video, post that video, write the description for the video. All of that is just one project. Now that might take me an hour or two, or it could take me several hours. There's a lot of different factors, especially if I have a lot of B-roll and have to do a lot more editing than just a straight to camera one. And so that's my Tuesday. So no matter what's going on, I know I have a full day. Could be 2 or 3 hours, could be 6 or 7 hours, where I can get a deeper project done. So pick a day that works for you where you're not going to schedule things, because if you know you have something coming up on your calendar, even if it's 2 hours later, it's going to be distracting you the whole time. And you know you're going to have a stopping point that's going to make you have to get up and walk away from your project. and it just doesn't work nearly as well. So I recommend one day a week. You choose Sunday, Thursday, whatever day you like, depending on your life, that you're just focused on deeper work. So then my Wednesdays and my Thursdays are much more interactive. Those are my most engagement focused days. This is when I do my group coaching call. This is when I do most of my coffee connects. Like if someone just wants to talk to me and like, hey, what are you doing? Someone I met when I was networking, or someone who's interested in my program and wants to find out more. All of that is scheduled mostly on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So those are busy days. Those are days where I'm getting up out of the house, doing things. And then Friday is another catch-all. So Mondays and Fridays are kind of like buffer zones for me. Friday is money love, where I track what I've been spending and earning. I'll maybe track my mileage, just whatever needs to be done, sort of another admin day. And I also have an accountability group that I've been with for years, and we meet Friday mornings too. So Friday, I could be done working by noon. It just depends on how my week is going. And so I have the energy to, if I'm feeling like, just a couple weeks ago, I didn't get really anything done on Tuesday. I just didn't have the energy for it. We've just moved into severe cold weather, and my whole nervous system is like, we need to hibernate here. And so I kind of got some things done, but I didn't get my video recorded. So I was able to move that to Wednesday morning. And I did have Tuesday to kind of think through some things and get myself ready. I woke up Wednesday with much more energy. So this is somewhat flexible, because when I'm aligned and I've got the energy for something, it's going to be significantly better. It's going to be easier to do. It's going to be more effective. And it's just, I really need to honor my energy each day. And so a lot of times our culture is like, oh, if you sleep, you're lazy. If you take a nap, it's like, I want to say, no. If you get something done for 2 hours, that's an awesome day. Enjoy the rest of the day off. And when we enjoy our time off, that time on, focus on task for our core projects, for our work, are just going to flow so much better. People are going to feel our heart in our work. And so when we're talking about a weekly rhythm and a schedule for your autonomous income stream, it is important to have some structure, because if you like walk into a store and it's like, buy anything you want, you're like, I don't even know where to start. Versus if you say, go in and find a red sweater, you're like, okay, I can find a red sweater. So our brain really needs constraints, just like AI. Like you have to give AI constraints. Otherwise, it's like the Mad Hatter's tea party. Our brains are like that as well. So give ourselves some structure, and then have some flexibility within that structure that's really based in honoring our energy. So aligned action. So whenever, or energy-based action. So if you're like, yay, I want to do this, this is going to be fun, that is it. And so another thing that I do oftentimes, I have found, is that 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. is a great work block for me. I will oftentimes really stall out in the afternoon, like 2 to 4 p.m. Nothing's going to get done. I might check some email. I'll probably watch 100 YouTube videos, and I'll take a nap. I'll take my dog for a walk. I'll do some housework, because I'm not able to focus energetically, mentally on something at that time of day. But then after I've had dinner, after I've had time to move my body and think through things while I'm doing a physical activity, such a great productivity hack. Then in the evening, I'm working on a webinar, and I was able to get a lot done from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Felt great. And then I took a bath, went to bed. It's great for my schedule. So find something for your schedule. Do you love that quiet morning time, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m.? Then you're done working. You're done by 9 a.m. You have the whole day to do whatever you want. So to really recognize how we've been indoctrinated by society to have these work shifts, and that's completely not true when we're running our own business. And that we also need some structure, but that structure is based on our lifestyle, what works for us, which might be radically different than what's happening in the larger society as far as work schedule and productivity. And that's gonna flow based on your personal energy, as well as the energy of the season and the energy of the day. And so I hope this is helpful for you, and you can think through your schedule and your routine, and you can give yourself a break. Like, it's okay if I'm getting things done in 10 or 20 hours a week, because that's actually how I'm most effective in my work. And here's the days where I want to do my deep work. And here's the day when I want to do my busy kind of admin work. Here's the days when I want to do my interacting and connecting work. And so to have specific days, full days of one kind of activity can be really helpful, because a lot of people that I work with just feel overwhelmed because they're not sure what to do when. This is one of the most significant aspects of our Aligned Income Collective, this group coaching program that I offer, is helping people with those guardrails, with those constraints, because there are a million things that we should be doing, but there's really just a few core things, a few essential actions that when we do them consistently over time, we will have our own autonomous income stream, which is my mission, is to help people free themselves up from that dominator structure that just is not a good fit for our nervous systems, and to do something that's more aligned with who we are in this phase of our life. So if that's something that you'd like to check out, I will leave you some information in the description below. And just to know that there's a great price for this through the end of this year, and then the price is going to go up at the beginning of the year. So if you're like, ooh, I'm ready to do this, it's a great value for you to get started now. Thank you so much for being here.